This is part 3 of the CIF interviews. There's Thom Simmons here at the CIF office. And Thom, what we'd like to know is, what was your background before you came into the CIF office? And then if you could kind of explain your duties here at CIF.
Well, I had a little bit of a different background than a lot of the other assistant commissioners. I didn't come from a school atmosphere. I actually came from a collegiate atmosphere. Prior to coming here, I was at Long Beach State University.
Very good place.
Yeah, you know it well.
Alumni.
I am an alumnus myself, so I worked in there. I was assistant director of marketing, and prior to that, I was assistant director of sports information. And prior to working at Long Beach State, I worked for USC and their fan publication called USC Report. And prior to that, I worked for a small minor league baseball team called the Long Beach Barracuda. So I had more of I had less of a high school background than I did as a more rounded NCAA and professional background with regard to sports before I came here.
And then your role here at CIF?
My role here right now is mostly with regard to communications. I have sports responsibilities with regard to lacrosse, and I help out in the sport of golf, but I'm the administrator for lacrosse. I have also the duties of administrator for all communications, external and internal, handling all the media, handling all the public relations, making sure our message is getting out to those who need to hear it.
Sure.
So basically that's takes up the majority of my day. Other than that, helping Rob with all of his championships and Reiner with his football, baseball, basketball, the three majors that we do here, running the game day events at the stadiums, helping out in that aspect. So.
A very elaborate responsibility. And the many years that you've been here at CIF, when you get up in the morning, what's one of the fun things or neat parts about being part of CIF that brings you here each day?
Well, the obvious that comes right off the top of your head is dealing with kids and athletes and sports. I always make a joke that they pay me to go watch sports, which is a pretty good gig. That's the first thing that you think about when you get up is, contrary to what some people that may not totally understand this organization, we're not all about trying to find kids ineligible to participate. We're really about trying to find kids ways to become eligible to participate in athletics. We certainly want to make that the guiding force that what we do here on a day-in-day out basis, and that translates to a lot of fun in this office. The other part of it is, and I think you would agree with this, Mark, this group of people that are in this office are just such wonderful people, and they have nothing but the best interests of kids and their member schools.
Is there something that in high school sports that you'd like to see changed? If you could wave a magic wand, what would that be?
Well, I think the number one thing, and we talked about it a little bit at council, is the ejection problems that we have in soccer. It's become almost critical mass for us now. I think Scott rattled off some numbers, and we're up, over 500 ejections. That's troubling. It's troubling from several different aspects. You don't know. Obviously, there's some problems with some attitudes and some the things that happen on the field, the pressure, that type of thing. There's also, I think, maybe some changes in officiating that could happen. Obviously, sometimes I think officials take things the wrong way or handle things properly, not the best way they could, and that results in ejections that could be avoided. Coaches not coaching kids properly in some aspects is troublesome, and that results in ejections. What kids see on TV and in the major sports is also it translates to their behavior on the field. If they see someone do it on the field, something that we don't necessarily agree is the right way to handle things, that translates possibly to the way that they behave on the field. So if there's one thing I could say I would like to see change, is this new rule that's being presented by the Soccer Association, the Coaches Association, in terms of trying to get administrations and coaches to be more proactive in stopping these red cards and these ejections before they get out of hand. I think that translates a lot into a lot of our rules. If we're more proactive in those regards, I think we would see a lot of problems that come down the pike that finally find a home here in this office,
Right.
they wouldn't necessarily need to get to this office because they would be handled at the school site. So I think that's the one thing, getting right now, the glaring thing is getting those red cards under control.
And if you could share with our families, students that will watch this, what's one encouragement or something that you'd like to see them really focus on over their 4 years in high school athletics?
Education, education, education. You know, I've said this a million times. I'm a guy who used to work with the Division I baseball program. I'm a guy who used to work around a Division I football program. I know, I have personal contacts with coaches at the NCAA level and the professional level. Those slots that those kids occupy are such a rarefied air that I don't think a lot of parents understand. I'm in the middle of a meeting right now. That's okay. I don't think a lot of parents fully appreciate how difficult that is to get to those points, to get to, and so I think a lot of kids lose focus of what their high school experience is supposed to be about. Getting an education, hopefully, to move on to a college, to try to better yourself in terms of your future. You know, not only just the education, going to the proms, going to do other extracurricular, maybe the band, maybe drama, something like that. Something else other than this idea that I need to spend 365 days a year on a sport because I'm going to get a college scholarship that's going to lead me to the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball. That those things, I don't want to discourage anybody from trying to have those dreams, but you really, really need to concentrate on your education because those dreams, for whatever reasons, may not have anything to do with you. You may get injured or they may get shattered, and you need to have something to rely on in case that happens. So education, education, education.
I agree completely. And we thank Tom for taking the time here at the CIF office. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.